afternoon. Maybe I cannot answer many questions because I'm short of time. I have other appointments to honor in a few hours. But let me just explain my position ditong sa burial ni President Marcos. You know, I'm a lawyer. And mabaski magtanong kayo, kasali na yung nagpo-protest dyan, that we are trying to stick to the letter of the law. Wala kaming choice. We cannot have a different interpretation because it simply says that a soldier and a former president are qualified to be buried in the libingan ng mga bayani. I'm sure that you have heard me during the campaign. And I committed publicly everywhere I went, and that includes Zamboanga City. I committed to the people. It was not because of the Marcoses. It's a question of law. Na sinabi ko, I will allow the burial of the former president in the libingan ng mga bayani. I made it very clear to everybody. And I explained already the reason why. It's a matter of law. Unang sinabi nila na sentimental, gano'n, hindi mo na lang inisip yung namatay na torture. Well, I was a government prosecutor. Kaya nga nag-resign ako pagka-prosecutor kasi ang nanay ko led the Yellow Friday movements sa Davao. Kaya sinabi ko sa boss ko during the Marshall years, because as a matter of fact, I was just investigating 3 classes of people. Crimes committed by the military, committed by the police, and committed by the rebels. Those were the 3 categories of crimes that hinahandle ko noon. So I offered to resign thrice. But every time, dinideny. So hindi ko naman maiwan ng trabaho because that's abandonment of duty. And that would be a crime actually. So out of respect sa aking mga superiors, I coasted along the years of martial law. But yung feelings ko, hindi ko na idagdag because that is of no moment. Kaming mga abogado, mga huwes, hindi kaming pwede magsabi, dahil na dictator yun, saang document, it was a political action by the people. Ang problema, wala nakalagay dyan. That might have really been for them to realize na yung panahon ni Ramos, dala-dala niya yung kausapan ng pamilya, pati siya noong presidente. That is a private contract between a former president who was deposed and died thereafter and the president. But is that a simple contract between them? Wala sa batas that unless there is a law. Kaya nga dumaan si Ramos, that would have been 12 years. Arroyo, wag naman siya, then Aquino, tatay niya. Di sana, they could have modified or abrogated with the provision or simply amended to include some other words that would fit a denial of the burial. Magtanong kayo ng mga abogado baski saan. We are trained, kagaya ng sundalo, pag sinabi na tumalon ka, tumalon ka. Kami, pag nagbasa namin klaro, presidente, sundalo, cemetery. Just about it. So, maski anong gawin ko, I could not really renege on my promise and the mandate of the law. Otherwise, kung gusto ng mga Marcoses they can charge me for not following or simply violating the law also. Saan ako pupunta? Huwag na kayo magtanong kung saan ang feeling ko, but that does not count. Sabihin mo lang na, they had, what, 12 golden years to do it. Inamend sana nila. Simply, di wala nang gulo. But for as long as that law is there, I'm sure, well, the Supreme Court sustained me. Nanalo ang majority, but there were some dissenters, but have their own problems maybe of the period. Pero ako, wala akong choice. Ako na sundalo, babarilin ka ng superior mo pag sinabi charge, tapos patakot-takot ka dyan, pakaward-kaward nga, ikaw pa yung mabaril ng mga kasama mo. Ako naman, either I do it, yan ang mahirap eh. Whether I decide it in favor or against anybody dito ngayon. Ako I'm being, horrible president. Demokrasya yan eh. Walang magawa. Abogado ako. I am trained to follow simply the law. It was a simple matter of amending the law. And they had about, I said yung nanay, pati ang anak, that, how, 12 golden years to do it. Tapos, ikaw pa ngayon bakit hindi mo na lang para klaro na allowed ka talaga? Because ayaw magsugal. Yan ang mahirap dyan. Ayaw nila pasukin. Alin dyan sa kanilang lahat. Because they were really afraid of what? The dissent, the crowd that would gather for alam mo, sa totoo lang, yung nakulong, but if you go up north, it's almost 98% of the all Ilocano-speaking regions. Naghihinakit yan. Kagaya ko, patayin mo ako, sino magagalit? Di siyempre, ang una, mga Bisaya, magagalit yung mga Maranao. Kaya anak ba nila ako? You create trouble in this country. Pag masaktan yung mga Ilocano, anong gawin ko? Ganito na lang. Pag magbabaan lahat yan dito sa Manila, salubungin nga na ang demonstration mo, puti. If there is about 30,000 there or 50,000, magsalubong dyan sa city of Manila. The Ilocanos would demonstrate for their hero. Marcos is hero to the Ilocanos, no doubt about it. Kasaya lang mga Bisaya na pro Marcos, magdala ng tao doon, mag-demonstrate yan. Kung magsalubong lahat, can we control it? Can the military control it? No, of course they cannot. Because I would not allow them to bring rifles. So it would only be the police. So what would happen? Ilan kaya ang mamatay sa bugbugan o if anybody carries a gun? Ilagay mo ang Hindi ako iniisip ko lahat. What would be the impact on this sa Ilocandia? Ilocandia is the Ilocano-speaking Filipinos up north. Yan ang problema. So, just go take about 3 questions. Yung what's really the butt of the matter, the ano, the raging issues, I can take about three. So, okay. Who's got the first?
I'm Hader Glang, Mr. President, Zamboanga Today and World Bulletin. Mr. President, the Abu Sayyaf tentacles are continuously sprouting. Last time they kidnapped German, shot dead a woman, also German, and they abducted also the Vietnamese, and there are still, remaining Indonesian and Malaysian hostages in Sulu. So I think this is your fourth time to visit this hospital, if I'm not wrong. What is your marching order, considering that we have this many foreign hostages?
You know, I can be nasty. I mean, I can be a bad boy. But I'm talking about a nation. Kung mag-full blast ako dyan, invasion, padala ko talaga masundalo, pati bomba na, I can do it even now. I can call on the military, the armed forces of the Philippines, to go all-out war and invade. Invade mo na lang ang Sulu. But I cannot do that because there will be huge losses, pati civilians, which is really what matters most. Ang civilian. I can bomb the whole of, as a matter of fact, I can burn this, but what would it bring us? You kill about, what, 20,000 Tausugs. You wipe out pati sa bukid na. Pag may makita kang bahay, you blast it to kingdom come. Would it bring us peace if I use force? Just like the president of the Philippines, nakatali kami. That is why, maski sino ang makausap ko, Tausug, sabihin mo lang na nakikiusap ako. If they want to talk, I can go to them anywhere. I can go alone. Wala ma rin silang makuha kung patay nila ako. Sabi ko lang, mag-usap tayo. Let us give our people a chance. We cannot be forever treating human beings here seriously wounded at yung mga Abu Sayyaf na namatay. Hindi naman isang, puro ito namatayan. And every life that is taken out because of what belief I do not know. Ang problema lang is they are into extremism na hindi dapat gawin. Sa ibang bayan, okay yan. Pero hindi dapat gagawin ng isang Samayakan, Tausug, Magkindanao, Maranao. Sabi ko nga doon sa pag nauwi ako sa Iligan na kasi kami, nauwi ko yung mga pinsan ko ay Manilef, Wala kayong makuha dyan, being brutal. Ano makuha ninyo? What would you gain? What would you cultivate? Hatred. Ang mga Kristiyano dyan namatay, hindi naman talaga maariglo yan. Lalo na kung mag-invade ako na, I can do more if I want to. If it's just a matter of stopping it in the meantime, for the nonce at this moment, I can do it. I can send, lalo na wala na ang bakante na ang mga sundalo sa Luzon pati Visayas. Because we are having talks with the communists in Oslo. The Norway provided the good offices sa diplomacy to provide the space for us to talk. Bakante na ang mga sundalo ko. I could send everybody here solo and order the entire place taken by force. Bomba na ang gamitin ninyo. At the end of the day, what can I say to the Filipino? That we have wiped out almost all of our Yakan, Sama, Tausug brothers and sisters, even those not connected with the violence now. So, kami talaga, maski si Ramos noon, pag nandito ka sa akin, maintindihan mo na. Kasi, mamili ka. Hindi mo pwede sabihin, moro lang yan. Kaya diba, there is a bigotry also sa mga Kristiyanos. Ang Visayas pa, hindi lang masyado naintindihan. Na ang mga Moro, mas nauna pa yan sa Kristiyanos. The Spaniards and the Americans brought Christianity to this place in Mindanao. But we were all part of this Sri Visayas Empire before the Spaniards came. So we were really brothers in one community. Ang problema nila, when they saw Mindanao, kinuha pa rin nila. Because the Philippines was given to the Americans kasi natalo ang Spaniards sa American-Spanish War. Part of the concessions that were ceded to the Americans was itong Guam, kaya ang mga apelyido nila pareho. Marianas Island and the entire length and breadth of itong ating Republic of the Philippines. It is an inherited fight, mind you. Kayong mga Tausug, kikinig naman kayo sa akin. No offense intended, sama kayong mga Abu Sayyaf. You know, this is not really our fight. It was a fight by the colonials against. Nagkaroon tayo ng republic, ate na mismo, nag-usap-usap yung mga minuno natin. Sila, lahat na. Maguindanao, Maranao, Ilocano, Bicolano. And despite of our differences in the dialect, in our manners, behavior, our forefathers decided to form one country. One nation, irrespective of your tribe. Napirmahan yun eh. So, hindi naman natin kasalanan lahat. Either we talk, if you want autonomy or if you want something else, federalism, I am ready. I am committed to federalism set up to appease the Moro of the entire Philippines. Kasi, maski saan, nakikita mo na sila ngayon. Wherever you go sa Pilipinas hanggang Abra, marami doon mga Maranao, mga negosyante. Ako naawa ako sa kanila. Minsan nandyan lang sa tabi ng mga kanal-kanal sa palengke. And yet, they thrive because they're really hardworking. But manood ako sa kanila, na doon na sa Visayas, pati Luzon, maawa ako sa kanila. How they have to sacrifice selling whatever their tamates, mga ano. So, they can, Tausug can go freely. I appointed 2 Tausug as ambassadors. Makilala nga, one is James Lau, from Hulo, dito. Another one si Alan Timbayan. He was my roommate. He was my roommate sa law school po kami. He is now the ambassador sa Qatar. He used to be the charge of affairs sa Riyadh. Nag-retire siya. James Lau campaigned for me here. Hindi pa siguro na-bypass, has to learn more. But he will be our ambassador to Brunei. In-appoint ko na. Ewan ko kung lumusot na sa commission appointments. Ay, Alonto sa Maranao. And appointed sa Maguindanao. Sa mga board. Hindi ko kayo kinalimutan. So, why don't we just stop the killings, violence? Maybe we can talk. And temporarily, we can have a structure like the federal setup. In the meantime, let peace come in. Then we can improve the place. This time, ako na mismo ang magtingin na magkaroon ng ospital na maayos, lahat. Kasi nawawala. Kung tignan mo yung previous Basilan, parang criss-cross na ang highway. Sa papel lang. I'm not trying to attribute anything to anybody. But over the years, ang Basilan, ang hulo. Kaya kung mayroon dito ako na yung ospital, na pangako ko na itatayo ko talaga yung ospital. Yan ang una niyan dito. Ako na mismo, Office of the President. Basta anything about Mindanao, ako na. Ako na para sigurado talaga. Pati kung may magtrabaho dyan sa Basilan o sa... Huwag naman ninyong kidnapin. Sus Mariusep. Kaya makisrahan mo sa okay, mayakan yan. Hayaan mo magtrabaho para naman dyan. Gira man kaya. Hindi gira muna. Pero if you can really stop it for a while we talk, pati Abu Sayyaf, I'm ready to talk to them. I'm ready to open the borders. Kasi yung may trade pa noon, almost the free trade, wala masyadong gulo dito because everybody was gainfully employed. After it was closed, because we were also losing on the side sa taxes, almost walang pasok. But I am ready to give that concession actually. Minimal ang taxes, just for regulation, para dumaan ka lang. Huwag ka lang mag-smuggle ng bala, baresos, bara. Sobra-sobra na tayo niyan. I'm ready to talk about opening the borders down south. No problem. Dito naman sa those who want my yellow movement man on the 30th, I say, still give the guarantee. You can freely demonstrate, say anything you want, anything at all. At saka, may order ako, restricted ang armed forces, mga military sa kampo. Pulis lang ang magano. And they can demonstrate without a permit. Open public places. Huwag naman yung mga building. May nagtatrabaho. Open public places, no limit. Pag sabi mo, we want to demonstrate for 1 week, fine. 1 month, still okay. 1 year, yeah. Wala akong problema. And nobody will give demand a permit. If you want to scatter dirt there, fine. We will clean it up for you.
Sir, good afternoon po, sir. Cedric Casili po from GMA7. Sir, hingan lang namin kayo ng pananaw po doon sa House probe on Ronnie Dayan yesterday. Some lawmakers are receiving flack. Sinasabi na medyo improper. VP Lenny said na bordering on harassment, I think is what she said, yung mga questions ng mga lawmakers, Mr.
No,
President.
I'm looking at the sky, only there's a cover. Alam mo, I was once a congressman, 1998 to year 2000. So I'm sorry I cannot answer that because with in deference to our interparliamentary, I cannot criticize them. I cannot praise them. So I better keep silent. Let the judge, the people of the Republic of the Philippines, judge the event any way they want it. This is a free country. Maybe another one?
Good afternoon, Mr. President. I am
Yes.
Shirley Espino from Radyo ng Bayan. Do you think your campaign promise to eradicate illegal drugs in the country can be achieved next month, or do you have another timeline for that?
We just had a big operation, both military and the PNP. And we have gathered so many firearms. But same, I can bomb the whole of, pag makita ko yung bahay nila, I cannot do that because we cannot wage a war against our own people. So it has to be just a peace and order, punitive police action. It cannot be converted into something. Ako ang nag-declare ng war. So that's why they want to investigate me sa International Court of, where can you find na when you threaten rebels and mga drug lords, sabihin mo, you destroy them. Of course, you have to destroy them. I admit it, but it's not a crime to say that. Ito lang mga puti ang mahilig niyan. Hayaan mo sila. Istorya mo lang rin yan. How can it be a crime to declare that if you destroy my country, I will kill you? If you destroy the youth of the land, I will kill you. That is a legitimate declaration. So do it at your own risk. Ibig sabihin yung drug. Extrajudicial killing? I don't know. I never ordered one. So let us investigate. But until now, I could hardly find any, in the first place, there are so many police and naunahan tayo ng iba. Actually, we are in narco-politics. We have been, 3 elections ago. Ang narco-politics nandyan na. Dumating na sa mga governor, mayors, barangay captains, thousands of them, police nandyan. So, they are in the government, we are in narco-politics. Now, how do I solve it? Pag-aralan namin. Tawagin ko yung police, anong gawin natin dito? Tanungin ko armed forces. Why? You are the guys that would maintain the integrity of the Republic of the Philippines. What do you intend to do? What can you suggest that we do? So pag-usapan na, it cannot last way beyond my term. Ang promise ko noon basic I will stop graft and corruption. And I'm really doing, I've demanded the resignation of the regulators. Tawag niya regulators, hindi mo yan sila parob-rob mo yan. They're just called regulators because how can you trust people who are corrupt na sila yung naghihiri ng magkano ang bayad mo diyan sa ilaw? So how can you have a government gano'n na sino magbayad ang tao? If they favor the rich, the owner of the power plants, diyan na mayayari ang tao. Because a hearing should be had before increases can be made. So if you're a corrupt official and your actuations are governmental acts, walang magawa ang tao. And if they decide to do it again and again, increase and increase, even if it is no longer justified, and that is what I mean, pagkakurap ang nasa gobyerno, kawawa talaga yung tao. So I will not allow it. Second, sabi ko, ang druga. Third is criminality. Malakas na naman ang kidnap o ransom kasi ang shabu humina, walang immediate supply. Kayo, basta ako, sinabi ko sa lahat, I have ordered the security forces, when I mention security, police, pati Capgo na yan, pati lahat ng armed forces, to go after them. We cannot exist as a troubled land forever. Buti pa, kanya-kanya na lang tayo. So, Mindanao should decide to Republic of whatever. Kanya-kanya na lang tayo. If we cannot be together, and if we cannot control crime and criminality, at pakainin mo lahat ng mga anak namin ng drugs, gira talaga yan. But in the end, we lose our union or unity. So, bye-bye, Philippines. Wala tayong magawa. Sabihin, wala ka palang gawin. Meron, but it has to be a decent one. Wala yung extrajudicial killing na sinasabi nila kasi lang balot torture yan So yung mga binalo tapos tinapon, remember that there were several police generals. At the start of my administration, even before, tingnan ninyo yung nangyari na a month before I became president. Puro na tumbahan. So yung first almost 2 months na order pa lang ako ng medyo intelligence gathering and sige na sila, they were cleansing already. Purging para to protect you and protect everybody. Ako wala man ako masabi ang mga kayo, extrajudicial, no? Sinabi ko hindi extrajudicial, destroy the operators and the apparatus. Hindi extrajudicial na balot-balutin, yan torture yan. Yan sinabi, sinong nasabihan mo? Padandahan yan. Sinong opisyal ang torture? Sinong nagpiyait sa amin? Bakit kami ang tinuro ninyo? Kasi mainit na yan. Kita mo yung sabi ni pagbalik niya, alam niya, wala pa ako pag-assume ko marami ng patayan. Sabi niya, naglilinisan na. Tama siya. Hindi amin yun. Bakit magbalot yan? Bakit magbalot ng crazy, you're wasting your time. Isang putok lang yan sa ulo. Why do you have to? Ano ka, nag-produce ka ng mami? Kita, it indicates sa'yo. Why would the police, mga gano'n na extrajudicial, i-plaster mo pa, pagustusin mo pa ako, pag-liquidate niya, isang katutak na plaster to tape, ano ginawa ninyo? Last question, please.
Mr. President, good afternoon. Julia
Good
Lipala
afternoon.
po ng Philippine Daily Inquirer. Sir, matanong ko lang po, sir, may bago ho bang directive ang inyong tanggapan regarding this operation against Abu Sayyaf? Kasi the last time you've said, go on with the war on terror. And with the increased number of kidnapping, sir, may pagbabago ho ba? Do you have any plans to intensify further? Magkakaroon ba ng Christmas break?
Ma'am, ganito.
Sorry po.
Sorry rin for interrupting. Go ahead. Ano?
Opo, magdadagdag po ba rin ng panibagong puwersa at gamit? Yun po.
Alam mo ma'am, nag-usap na kami doon sa Brunei, nag-usap kami ng Indonesia, doon sa Laos. And recently, I visited Malaysia. Ang usapan talaga, na sabi nila, Presidente of the Philippines, do something about the problem. Sabi ko, with the vast expanse of the Malacca Strait, just besides Sulusi, Celebes, and tong Moluccas, because it's an important sea lane for trade and commerce. Sabi nila na do something about it. Sabi ko, the vast expanse of water really prevents me from covering all, Sabi ko, you just take care of your own territorial waters. I will take mine, responsibility, and the Indonesian. Sabi ko, we will just police the area. And alam mo, yung hindi ko alam ang paradigm ng mga trupa dyan, ha? I have never seen or encountered anybody from their armed forces ano ang style nila. Basta ako, sabi ko, I will take care of my own. Sila rin. And they are calling for a drastic action. The suggestion is talagang they'll just blow you up. But if it is in your waters and they are Filipinos, wala ang magawa. Because actually it is piracy or piracy. It is a crime against humanity, and any country wherever you are in any water, whether international seas or not, any police of any country can arrest you and bring you to their place, their courts. Baski dito sa Philippines, usual ngayon kasi i-surrender ka. But they can bring you to there. And if you are accused of piracy because it is a crime against humanity, so you can be held responsible, and they can hold the trial there, and you go to prison there. Okay? Everybody satisfied? Ma'am, meron ka pa? Kung siya na, partida kita. Okay na?
Yes, Mr. President.
Yung, okay ba ang demonstration sa Manila? What was the last one? Were they able to march?
I think mostly parang millennials po, mga college students yata yung mostly nag-gather at the moment, sir.
So I share their right. I said, I may disagree by what you say, but I will defend your right to say it. That's disarray of those are borrowed terms, words. Salamat po.
Thank you, Mr. President.